First and foremost, we give all praises, glory, and honor to the Heavenly Father and the Son, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Kakodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of the great Muslim Sham, to the Lord, to the elect. The names which is called upon are the true names of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. The Father's name is Yahawah. That means He is, He exists. The Son's name is Yahawashi. That means He saves, He delivers, He is salvation. And how you say Holy Spirit is Ka Kodash. The Spirit that's holy. The Ka equaling Spirit, Kodash equaling holy. Alright, put it all together. Bahasham means in the name. Put it all together. It's Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Ka Kodash. That is the Father's name, the Son's name, and how you say Holy Spirit in the Paleo-Hebrew, the ancient Hebrew, also known as Lashawan Kodash, the holy tongue, the holy language. Alright, so when we call upon our power, we want to call upon our power in the correct language, the correct tongue, because it has meaning. These names that they use today, they don't have meaning. Jesus Christ has no meaning. Yeshua has no meaning. Yahweh has no meaning. These are false gods. Okay? The Most High is not hearing those names. Alright? And the Son is not hearing those names. So you have to call upon the correct and the proper names. As always. Okay? Now let's get a couple precepts to talk about that. And I'll start at Zephaniah 3 and 8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahawah, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. Now according to prophecy, right, which that is a prophecy, and we're watching it take place. The Most High is gathering the nations because that's His determination. That's what He's going to do. All right? He's gathering the nations to pour upon them His indignation, His righteous anger, which ultimately is what? Fire. The ICBM missiles coming down. The chariots raining down laser beams. So He's coming down with much, violence and pain and judgment for these people. Okay? So that's what He's bringing to them. So we understand and we see that prophecy taking place. Now along with that, it's something that has to happen to His chosen. They have to be brought back. They have to be first cleansed, purified, and brought into this truth. And that's what you're seeing happening with all the brothers around the planet, man. All right, verse 9. For then will I turn to the people a pure language, that they may all call upon the name of Yahawah to serve Him with one consent. So, a pure language shall be in their mouth. Alright? At the top of that is being His names. The Father's name and the Son's name. So that pure language will be in their mouth, man. And they'll build upon it as they go. And then once we fully in the kingdom, we'll be speaking nothing but Hebrew. That's it. Alright? No more English, no more Spanish. No more Pathra, no more French, no more whatever, man. These colonizers done told us we're not going to be speaking any of that anymore. We're going to be speaking Lashawan Kodash, our language, that pure language, that pure tongue. All right, this is what the Halalyam, the angels speak. This is what the Father speaks. This is what Yahawashi speaks. All right, this is that pure, proper language. Okay, verse 10. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, my suppliants, even the daughter of my dispersed, shall bring mine offering. In that day in that day shalt thou not be ashamed for all thy doings, wherein thou hast transgressed against me. For then I will take away out of the midst of thee them that rejoice in thy pride, and thou shalt no more be haughty because of my holy mountain. Now who rejoices in pride? Alright? You have our own people rejoicing in pride. But mainly you got these heathens that's standing over us and beating us down, knocking us down, ruling over us. All right, with much rigor, with a lot of violence, not telling us who we are, not letting us know who we are. Okay, so they're prideful, especially Esau Edom, the so-called YT man. He's extremely prideful. He's extremely proud. He's boasting in everything that he has, and he believes that his kingdom will not fall. And then second behind him, you know, is Moab. Okay, the Chinese, so-called, they're extremely prideful, believing that they're impossible to be touched. Okay, so Yahawah is going to bring them low. He's going to do away with them. And they're no longer going to be able to go up against the holy mountain. That holy mountain, a mountain represents a government. And holy, once again, Kodash, set apart. They'll no longer be able to go against us anymore, because we're going to be back in our rightful position. As we go back to verse 8, Yahawah's indignation, right, his determination, Salakia, was to bring his indignation upon the heathens, upon the nations. So he's destroying them, man. He's getting them up out of there. And those that remain shall go into slavery, shall go into chains. Okay? Verse 12. I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people, and they shall trust in the name of Yahawah. The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity, nor speak lies, neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth, for they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid. Alright? That's true salvation. When nobody can make you afraid. None. Okay? We're going to serve and worship Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi without fear. Right now, persecution coming down. Okay? They're going to be persecuting you individuals. You know, hey, us. Alright? And we're going to see a lot of brothers turn tail and say that they was never a part of this thing. That's what you're going to see. Because of fear. Alright? So, when this devil comes down with great wrath, you're going to see individuals tuck and tail. They're not girding up their loins like a man. They're not showing themselves to be men. But they're falling, man. They're folding under the pressure. So therefore, you will not become a diamond. You're not going through the refinement. You jumping out of the furnace of affliction. Okay? So, hey, you know, hey, all you can do is pray that that don't be you. Pray that Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi keeps the spirit on you to be able to go forth and do what you're supposed to do. Alright? And not be like that. Let's see what the brother got on the comment board. Hey, Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi Barak. Shalom up. Isaiah 19:18. Yep, I had that one in mind. I'm gonna go get it. Oh, you got it in the GNT? I like that. Isaiah 19:18 in the GNT. When that time comes, the Hebrew language will be spoken in 5 Egyptian cities. The people there will take their oaths in the name of Yahawah Almighty. One of the cities will be called City of the Sun. So, and Isaiah 19 chapter is talking about a future prophecy, right? So, we're in the land of Egypt right now, spiritually, okay? And that's according to Revelation 11. All right, let's get that real quick. Because that's not talking about us being in Africa, Egypt, Cairo, all of that. No, that's talking about us being in a land of bondage. Egypt also means bondage, a land of slavery. And that's what we're in. We're slaves, man. All right, if you are paying bills, you're paying taxes, you're paying all of that. It don't matter what kind of car you have, you're a slave. You got to pay everything to the YT man. All right? Therefore, you are a slave. This is Revelations 11:7. And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them. That beast is who? None other than the Roman Empire. Alright, reborn, rebirthed, suffered that deadly wound, was destroyed, but came back. Now everybody's like, wow, it's back. Rome is back. Look around. Rome is back. Okay? So it's going to come up and it's going to make war. It's already been doing that with us. All right? Countless times. You know? Now what's going to happen? And their dead bodies shall be in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. So our dead bodies shall what? Be in this place, be in this city, being in America, being wherever you are really in the world, and not being told that you're Israelite, not being told that you're God's chosen people, not giving the true knowledge to you, but they know the knowledge, but they don't tell you. So you're suffering. And then once again, this place is a place of bondage. And then Sodom, spiritually Sodom, it's a place of much sodomy. It's a place of much homosexuality. It's a place of much debauchery, lasciviousness, greed, all type of manner of wickedness, man, was done in Sodom and Gomorrah in those 5 cities. The same done in Egypt. Okay? These are places that the Most High despises. So if this is spiritually Egypt and Sodom, do you think that the Most High likes this place? No, he despises it. It's an abomination to him. So you cannot align to it, because that's not what the Most High enjoys. Why would you do something that the Most High doesn't enjoy? You have to start thinking about this for you people that's not really considering what's going on. All right? The Most High is not happy with America, man. Okay? Keeping it going. Verse 9. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. 3 days and a half. 350 years. 3 days and a half. Now, when is that time period? From 1619 to 1969. When did we wake up? 1969. That's when Elder Abba Bibbins came out with the truth. He tied it together, because he was learning from Old Testament only keepers. Okay, they only abided to the Old Testament. They didn't care for the New Testament. Hey, Yahawah revealed it to him. All right, and he was able to piece it together, and he came with the full truth. Okay, and it broke down. All right, and it got to our elders today. Okay, so that's how it does. It trickles down. It goes to men. What's that? Commit. Let's get that. And 2 Timothy. Because that's what happened. And that's what's supposed to happen. It ain't just residing on one person, man. Okay? This is 2 Timothy 2. Let's start at the top. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Hamashiach Yahawashi. And the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others also. Alright? And this is what the elders do. This is why this truth spreads out all over the planet, man. And who does the heavy lifting? I've never met Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle. I've never met the elders that's in New York. Alright? I've never seen Elder Yashawamba, a lot of brothers that I watch all over the globe, man. I ain't never seen the brothers in Australia. I ain't never seen the brothers in the UK. Okay? But this thing trickles. Who does the heavy lifting? YouTube. Who allowed YouTube to be created? Yahawah. Right? So, just trust him. He's going to create the vehicle for that truth to spread, as it says in Isaiah 55th chapter. So, you got to trust him that he's going to allow it to get out there. You know, you ain't got to do too much, man. You just got to make sure you're on your P's and Q's, you're dotting your I's, you're crossing your T's, you're good with it. You coming out and you bringing it out 100%. He's going to push it out, and make it get and reach who it's supposed to reach. Okay? So you commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others. So Elder Abba Bivens committed it to what? King Masha, High Priest Ariyah, High Priest Jaquab, and then that got committed down to more faithful men. Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Ramlab, Elder Apostle Rakar, right? And then that got committed down to more faithful men. And as you see, it's trickling down all the way to the Jake that just got woke up yesterday, you know, and he coming into this thing now. It's being committed to him. Yahawah Ratazah, he be a faithful man, and he begins, you know, when he feels comfortable, all right, 6 months, you know, based upon his measure of faith, that he comes out here and teach. You know what I'm saying? So, being a faithful man, he's going to be able to teach others. So the cycle continues. All right, what Nipsey Hussle's, the marathon continues. Yeah, this is the marathon. All right, and we almost done with it. We on like, a marathon is, I believe, 26 miles. It might be 25.6 or something like that. You know, we on like the 23rd mile. You know what I'm saying? I did a lesson yesterday. We in that final season. Couple episodes to go. That's what we in. You got the MOTB episode, you got WW3 episode, and then you got the episode where the chariots come. You know, you got these certain episodes, these key points of the plot that we looking forward to. Because we know Yahawah's gonna finish it and wrap it up like this. Because it's already been told. We have the script. So we already know what to look forward to in the movie, man. You know what I'm saying? We see what you got else on the comment board. Hey, Shalom to my brother Tassad. Yahawah Shem Yahawashi Barak. Alright, I get this Daniel 7:25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time. Exactly. All right. Thinking about us going into Africa. Okay. They sieged Jerusalem. They sieged the last place where we held up at. You know, really the 2/3, because the hopeful elect, they listened to Yahawashi. And when he said get up out of there, they fled into the mountains, which would be what? Africa. If you know geographically down there, you have Africa, you have mountains, a mountain range, all right, down below Israel. Okay? It's leading into Africa. All right? So people out here, man, they got demons on them. You know, tripping for no reason. Don't let that road rage get you in a situation that you don't want to be in, man. You know, but that's these Babylonians. All right? Salaki. So we flee down to the mountains in Africa, then we eventually settle and set up in where? In what you call West Africa, which they would call Negro land. All right? This is where you got the Benin Kingdom, and you got Guyana, okay, Mansa Musa, them type of individuals. That was Jake's settling and ruling, and it was much gold, it was much life down there. Jake, wherever we go, man, look at America. We built this place up. It is what it is. All right, wherever we go, we flourish. You know, now you had Jake living in Africa, but you also had Jake being what? Moors, Vikings, all these, we was scattering. We was moving from here and there, and we was setting up, and we were flourishing, right? But furthermore, it was already prophesied, as we just read, for Esau to come and fuck with us, all right? To rise back up, and to come and knock us back down. You know? Let's get some more of that. Daniel 7:26, but the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away the dominion to consume and to destroy it unto the end. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him. That stone that's coming to break that statue, right? So they have the rulership now. They have the kingdom now. You know, this is what you know as the fourth kingdom. All right, which is tying back into, as we said earlier, that Roman Empire. This is Rome reborn. But this part of the statue is iron mixed with clay. So you have the Romans back in rulership, but you also have other kingdoms such as Moab in rulership. All right, the Persians, Iran is doing whatever they doing. You know, you got Ishmael, all right, doing whatever they doing. You have other nations that have power. They don't have it like the Romans, but they do have a little bit of power. So this is a more feeble kingdom than the old Roman Empire. All right, and as Yahawashi says, bind the strong man, and then the whole house is gonna fall, and that's what's happening. Going back to Zephaniah 3 and 8, his determination is to gather the nations. What Yahawah is doing is binding the strong man through his determination. He's gathering the nations to bring them down and destroy them, right? And that's why you have a house divided. Edomites fighting Edomites on a major scale with Russians against Americans, then on a minor scale with Democrats and Republicans, all right? And civil war and all this type of stuff. Tensions are rising. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some more. I'm gonna get one precept from the brother. Shalom to my brother Endure All. That brother was just out there on the corner getting it in. I'm gonna get one from Tasar. I'm gonna get one from Endure, and I'm gonna get back to it. This is Proverbs 22 and 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. So what are we doing in these time frames where we see this kingdom being destroyed? Are you gonna like a 2/3 like your grandmother? Are you gonna hold on to the king? America, I gotta hold on. No, man, we not holding on to this bullshit. Okay, you gotta let this thing go. Let it go. All right, the love story that you had with America, that should have ended when you came in the truth. That American dream, you should have woke up. You should have been awoken, meaning quickened by Yahawashi. He quickened you to life. So now you no longer are asleep. You no longer have an American dream. All right? You bounced back into reality. Okay? So now you see the truth. Right? You took the red pill. You didn't take the blue pill. You took the red pill, and then Morpheus showed you what's really going on. He took you into the matrix. He showed you what's really happening. So now you have that reality. You know what I'm saying? And that's a beautiful thing. So you're a prudent man. You're foreseeing the evil. You coming back to the scriptures and you paying attention to the plot of everything that's going on, and you realize that we in the final season. So you won't be like an individual talking about it could be another 30 years, 1,000 years, or whatever. No, you're not in that mindset. You know that this is the final season, and we got a couple episodes to go, man. All right? And the finale, hey, it's going to be the greatest finale of television history, you know? And we know we talking about, you know, this broad thing. Because Yahawah makes movies, okay? He makes movies, man. He's a director. He makes plays. He makes shows. This is it. It's bigger than whatever you thought it was. Ecclesiasticus 10 and 8 from the brother Endure All. Because of unrighteous dwellings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So kingdoms are translated. You have an appointed time, 250 years for kingdoms to rule. All right, at the end of the day, how y'all doing? Okay, you talking to me pretty good. I'm just preaching the Bible, brother. So you have kingdoms that are set up, all right, such as, let's go through it. You had the Egyptians. They were ruling for a time frame, all right? Then you had us, the Israelites. We came out of Egypt. The Egyptian empire, they failed. We began to take over the land of Canaan, and we began to rule. We had a time frame. King David ruled for 40 years. You know, it was a lot of war. And then King Solomon ruled for 40 years. And it was what? It was peace. We were chilling. Brothers had multiple wives. You had much land. You had servants. You had all this. Your average Israelite in Solomon's kingdom, he had servants. You had land. You was set up. You was good. You was prosperous. All right? You had concubines. You had all this. Okay? That was common practice. All right? So we was good. And then we began to fall because King Solomon went into what? Idolatry. King Solomon being Yahawashi. It was meant, you know, it had to happen for everything to take place. And then we began to fall. We split. You got Northern Kingdom, which is your Latinos and your Native Americans. You got Southern Kingdom, which is your so-called Negroes, which also falls into your Haitians, your Jamaicans, your Trinidadians. All right? So we fell, we got split, and we got overtook. Northern Kingdom went into another kingdom, which is what? The Assyrian Empire, the Assyrian Kingdom. They got took in by them. They took it upon themselves to separate, and they settled in America, North America and South America. This is where you get the Native Americans and the Latinos. This is where all of them set up. The Aztecs, the Mayans, the Incas, all right? Gadites, which you know is your Native Americans. Reubenites, which is your Seminole Indians. So they all came over here. Puerto Ricans, all right? Cubans, all right? That's Northern Kingdom. They all came over here. And that's in the book of 2nd Esdras, the 13th chapter, all right? Starting around verse 40. If a brother want to put it on the board, you could, all right? And then the Southern Kingdom would go into what? Would go into slavery as well under another kingdom, which is what? The Babylonian Empire. So, peeping that Yahawah is giving these heathens a time frame to rule. He took our rulership from us because we didn't know how to act. We began to worship false gods. That's called committing adultery. Let's go to Jeremiah 3. You can't go against the Most High's laws, commandments, and statutes, man, and think that he's just going to deal with you and it's not going to be no repercussions. Remember, he is ultimate justice. So he's going to give you justice in every aspect. It ain't no, oh, you my son, so I'm a go nice on you. Nah, he gonna beat your ass how he's supposed to. You know those kids, we call when you be nice to a kid and all that, you're not correcting him how you supposed to. We call that getting spoiled. Okay? And what happens to those kids? They end up rotten. You need to beat their ass, man. So it's Jeremiah 3. Starting at the top. They say, if a man put away his wife and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers. Yet return again to me, saith Yahawah. Now as we see, we was what? We was once married to Yahawah. Okay? Now we are married to Yahawah and Yahawashi. Yahawah had to send Yahawashi to be that mediator. Really, Yahawashi is Yahawah's sacrifice to redeem us, to bring us back. Because lambs, goats, it didn't matter anymore. We was just off, man. You know? So Yahawah was the only one that could do it. He had to send a sacrifice without spot, without blemish, to bring us back. Okay? So, we committed adultery. Let's go down some. Let's go to, I'm going to start at 12. Go and proclaim these words towards the north and say, and tied into the title of the lesson, warn them. Go and proclaim these words towards the north and say, return thou backsliding Israel, northern kingdom, saith Yahawah, and I will not cause mine anger to fall upon you, for I am merciful, saith Yahawah, and I will not keep anger forever. Only acknowledge thine iniquity, that thou hast transgressed against Yahawah thy power, and have scattered thy ways to the strangers under every green tree, and you have not obeyed my voice, saith Yahawah. Turn, O backsliding children, saith Yahawah, For I am married unto you. What? I am married unto you. And I will take you, one of a city, and two of a families, and I will bring you to Zion. And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. That also is taking place right now. Going back to that cycle, as we talked about, a cycle that repeats, where you have men, 2 Timothy 2, you committed to faithful men, and they shall teach others. So these, the prophets, the ones that's in the position right now that's teaching, that's constantly on it, that's doing what they're supposed to do, that's hitting the highways and byways, these are the pastors, according to his heart. These are men that he raised up. You can't buy, brothers. You can't. We're not going to take no bribe. All right? We don't want no mega church and all that bullshit. This is the church, man. Okay? We don't need no, you can't hold the Most High in walls. Acts 17, what's that, 24? Or Acts 7 and 48. All right? You can't hold him in four corners. You don't dwell in a, just because you build a temple, that don't mean that it's his house. The whole earth is his footstool. He go wherever he wants. He's everywhere. He's omnipotent, right? So just because it's a church and they got a pastor and all of that, and they listening off the precepts of men, okay? These are traditions. A lot of that stuff ain't in the Bible, man. I remember growing up, these niggas had us taking communion. We was eating the bread and drinking the wine every month. We used to do that shit every first Sunday. I'm like, I started reading the Bible like, okay, so we doing this because the Passover. But when is the Passover? Right? But they had us doing that every month. Like, these are traditions that are not even in the Bible. They lost in the sauce. Okay? The way that they offered, they used to take up, can we get $100 over here, $100 over here? We short, we need $500. Somebody, because they want the acknowledgement of everybody in the church house, they gonna get up and they gonna walk their ass to the front and get them a check of some money that they really ain't even got. That's, man, you robbing people, man. You motherfucking Baptist churches, Protestant Methodists, all you niggas, man. And I'm talking to the, hey, all over. But I grew up in the Bible Belt, so especially in the South. South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, all you niggas is wicked as fuck, man. All you fucking pastors, man. Alright? Pardon my speech. But hey, they wicked, and y'all still doing the same fucking thing. Y'all wicked as hell, and y'all know y'all wicked. And the Most High gonna destroy y'all, man, on everything. Alright? Because y'all are not the pastors according to his heart. So going back, and I will give you pastors, verse 15, according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. Not come and take all your money. Not come in and fuck your wife. Okay, you got hey. We know what's going on in them churches, man. All right, why your wife, she got to go to second service, then she staying after church. Oh, pastor just wanted to talk with me a little bit. Y'all talking, all right? Hey, man. It's a whole lot of wickedness going in these churches, man. And the Most High is just, he's holding them, he's preserving them for them nukes or for a judgment that he's got set up for them. A creative death that he's gonna do y'all something gruesome, man. Like that one chick, is that artist David. He cut her up. You know, they said he like paralyzed her. All right, and then he cut her up piece by piece, and she felt all of that shit. These are the type of judgments that the Most High has waiting for some of you individuals, man. Okay, he gonna do type of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you better get right. That's all we can say. You better get right. Verse 16, and it shall come to pass when you be multiplied and increased in the land in those days, saith Yahawah, they shall say no more, the Ark of Covenant of Yahawah, neither shall it come to mind, neither shall they remember it, neither shall they visit it, neither shall they be done anymore. At that time they shall call Jerusalem the throne of Yahawah, and all the nations shall be gathered unto it, to the name of Yahawah, Bahashem Yahawashi, to Jerusalem. Neither shall they walk anymore after the imagination of their evil heart. Why do the heathen, I imagine a vain thing, man? Why do the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing in their heart? All this that y'all got, these dreams, you heathen are gonna be brought into reality, knowing who really rules the earth, who's really doing things out here. Alright, in a wicked rulership, the people mourn. Y'all are mourning even in your complacency of so-called false enjoyment. It's an illusion. You got caught up in the sauce, you caught up in the spell, and you believe that this is as good as it gets. You go to work 40 hours, 60 hours a week, and you get your little paycheck and you happy about the paycheck. It gives you the fuel to go again. When this shit is trash, they kicking your ass, you know? But you're caught up in that illusion, right? The spell is just reignited, and you're trapped once again. Man, but our people can't see it. They can't wake up. Verse 18. So, hey, matter of fact, let's break 17 down. At that time, they shall call Jerusalem the throne of Yahawah, and all the nations, every single nation. All right, all 17 other nations. It's one chosen nation. In Isaiah 45:4, Israel is mine elect. So Israel is the elect, the chosen nation, the best of its kind. And then in that elect nation, you have elect members. So you have the best of the kind in the best of the kind. All right, it breaks it down. Yahawah is really specific. He's choosy. He's a choosy lover. All right, so he's very choosy. Hey, don't hit me, man. I hit the note a little bit, though. Leave me alone. But he's a choosy lover, okay? So he's looking specifically. He's not dealing with everybody. He peeping red flags. He's looking for his men who are loyal and is going to serve him in what? In spirit and truth. Not serving him for money, not serving him for fame, not serving him for status or a title or any of that, but serving him in spirit and truth, man, because they truly love him. They're sincere about it. And if you sincerely love him, then he's gonna sincerely love you, man. He one of them friends, man. You go a mile for him, he gonna go 300,000, 100,000 miles for you. The scriptures say you can't even worship the Most High enough. You understand? So you can't. Our righteousness is as filthy rags. You can't pay him back what he's given to you. You understand? That's how great of a friend he is. The reward that he's giving you will never compare to what you can give him. But you still need to give him your best. Hey, that's all I got, man. I know you got far more than me, but I'm giving you all I got. All right? Don't be mad, he ain't gonna be mad. He's gonna recognize and see that effort that you're giving to him. And he's gonna take that and he's gonna count that, as I said many times, for many different men, it accounted to them as righteousness. He's gonna count that to you as righteousness. Now, account is going into an account, and that's going into what? Your bank account. You have, everything is being accounted. You have reports. You have a book. Everything is being checked. All right, so think about transactions. You got spiritual transactions that are going on, and you want to have your report being a solid report, man. All right, let me get a little bit more. Matter of fact, I know y'all probably on the comment board going crazy. Yep, let me get some of this, man. All right. Let me see what y'all got. What's good one? Second Esdras. I'm gonna get Second Esdras 13 and 40. Those are the 10 tribes which are carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hoshea the king, whom Salmanassar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. And all of that, you can literally go and research that. Okay? Salmanassar. You can look that up and see that it's going to come around. It'll come around 724 BC. Okay, I believe that's the exact year that all that happened. You know, so you can go and tie it to secular history and see that what the scripture's saying, it's history to prove it. All right, when the northern kingdom was took, and then they took it upon themselves to go and leave. And then I found it crazy because I was looking into the Incas. They said the Incan society, Aztecs, Mayans, a lot of them, right? They do their little carbon dating and all that bullshit. They said the first evidence that they got was around 700 BC, of those societies being in South America. So that ties directly into the scriptures of our people coming over there. You know, Esau sometimes will tell the truth with his pseudoscience. He'll sometimes tell the truth, you know, but he'll still lie, because he'll say, oh, they just originated over there. Life just expanded. It just started. No, they got on a ship and they traveled. But Esau say, oh, no, you know, it's impossible because they didn't have the type of ships Christopher Columbus and Magellan. No, because you got too much pride that you can't admit that some so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans were able to get on ships and travel the oceans, the seas, before you. You can't admit that. We get it, because you a prideful ass devil. We understand. You don't want to admit that the so-called black man, the so-called Negro, the so-called Native American, the so-called Hispanic is a far superior specimen than you will ever be. And that's even at a base level. A 2/3 ninja out here is far better than any old white man. And we know that, man. Okay? He will beat your ass. You touch that. Alright? He's far superior. And if he apply himself, he's far superior in math, science, geography, everything. The sciences, the nature, knowledge. If he applies himself, he's far superior. Alright? So we are what? Going back to that elect nation. We are that chosen nation. Deuteronomy 7:6, man. We are above. Let's get that real quick. And I'm going to hit the board again. We are above. Matter of fact, I stopped over here. I'm going to just get this one. Deuteronomy 28:1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahawah thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that Yahawah thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. So it's a position reserved for you, Jake. It's a position. That's your inheritance, to be above every other nation on this planet, man. Not to be below them, but now you are the tails because of those curses. Now you are below. All right? Now you have to scrape and strive to get a penny, you know, because these nations. And look at how they are in their rulership. Are you happy? No. Is it peace? No. Everybody's paying bills while they out here trafficking kids. Everybody paying bills while they out here doing these freak offs. Men messing with men. But these are your highest ups. These are your presidents, your politicians. That's your congressman. All right? He over here, man, you know how they is. Okay? See what else y'all got. And y'all brothers both of y'all brothers put that scripture, you know, that's what's up. That's the spirit. Acts 7:49. Heaven is my throne and earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me? Saith Yahawah, or what is the place of my rest? Exactly. The Most High is letting you know everything is his. The entire universe. Wherever we go, and not just earth, we leave this planet, Yahawah is still with us. Yahawashi is still with us. You understand? He created everything. It all belongs to him. Right? It's nothing you have that's really yours. You have no ownership. Okay? So what you gonna do? You gonna be a slave and aligned to Esau, or you gonna be made free by the word and be a servant to Yahawah Ba'ashem Yahawashi, and ultimately be called a friend. Because that's what Yahawashi calls us. So you want to be a slave to the devil, or you want to be a friend to the Most High and His Son? Hey, that's an easy question, but it's not easy the most, because some people is actually hesitating and contemplating and being like, what you saying, being a slave? I get this, I get that, I get this. But being a friend to Yahawashi, I gotta go through persecution. I gotta go through suffering. I gotta go through my people turning on me. I gotta go through everybody looking at me like I'm weird and strange and not fitting in and etc. You got individuals out here that's really playing in their mind, thinking about these situations. Alright? And that's crazy. But hey, Jake don't know, man. Because hey, the ass don't know his owner. Okay? Let me see. Hey, Shalom to waiting on the arrows. Yeah, that's what we doing. We waiting on them arrows for sure, for sure. Isaiah 56 and 11 through 12. Yea, they are greedy dogs which can never have enough, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain from his quarter. Come ye, say they, I will fetch wine, and we will fill ourselves with strong drink, and tomorrow shall be as this day, and much more abundant. Exactly. So Esau constantly stays in his philosophy, in his doctrine, in these ways that makes him drunk, and then it's a party to him. So if he's ruling the kingdom, this is his kingdom, and he's ruling, then what is he gonna do to his servants? What is he gonna do to civilians of the city? He's gonna give them the same thing that he's on. You understand? So that doctrine, that wine is spreading. That's why Revelation 18 tells you that all the world, all the nations have committed fornication with her. They've all been drunk off the wine of Babylon. Alright? How the Haitians, Jamaica, Babylon. Alright? Babylon. You know, I mean, you go back and listen. I listen to Jamaican music a lot sometimes. And they was talking about, they was saying Jah, but they was always talking about some Babylon in the 70s and the 80s, stuff like that. And that's going back to us being woke up. All right, Barak 2:28 going down with like 32. You know, they shall think upon the name. So they was knowing that this place was Babylon. All right, listen to Bob Marley, listen to them old joints. You know what I'm saying? Speaking against it. It says the Benjamin shall wail, they shall sing. And they're talking about their captivity. They're talking about all of this. And then Esau went and got Jake and made Jake make gangster music and all that bullshit. Jake came out hip hop 78. Jake was talking a little bit. Don't push me cause I'm close to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying not to lose my head. That's what Jake is on out here, but Jake done lost their head. Now Jake is YNs, they crash outs, they on all these different type of pills and drugs, fentanyl and all this. You know, Jake out here being a mo, wearing dresses. You know what I'm saying? Jake done lost his head. Because Esau came, took a vibration that was supposed to heal and speaking upon oppression. That's what music was used for, to speak upon oppression. All right, and they took that and they used it to furthermore the oppression. That's why gangster rap, drill music, trap music, all this bullshit is doing nothing but destroying our people. Growing up in the South, the elders was talking about Waka Flocka yesterday, I remember that. And it came with a certain vibration, you know, and it does. Because I remember growing up, all the boys around used to be on that Waka Flocka flame. You know, that's what they was on. And they would act different. They would act with that, you know, that's how they was. And that's just what it's a demon, man. It's these vibrations. And they moving in that type of way. Not with no class, not with all that, but they moving like hoodlums, like gangsters, in that type of vibration. You know? So hey, it is what it is. I ain't fuck with that shit back then. I definitely don't fuck with it now. I never thought that nigga could rap. But, you got to admit, he does have a vibration. Now, what is that vibration? It's a demonic vibration. If it causes your people to rob, shoot, and kill each other. So, Waka Flocka, Gucci Man, all these individuals always came with a demonic vibration. But that's going back to Esau, who is their taskmasters, who's cutting the check and paying for all their studio time, producing and promoting their music, getting it out there, putting it on the shelves. He's allowing them, he's telling them what they got to put out. You know, you got to put out music to destroy your people. Don't put out music to uplift your people. So, hey, let's get the comment board once again. And then we're going to go into Ezekiel 3rd chapter. 2 Peter 3 and 12 from the brother Tassad. Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of Yahawah. Hastening. We want it to come right now. You know, I said at the end of the lesson, hey, may Yahawah, he destroyed this bitch yesterday. So we can get up out of here. That's just emphasizing that we ready to go. If you're not ready to go, you're not in the right mindset. If you like, well, let me go, I gotta go get my wife. I gotta go, no. Yo, when them chariots come, okay, if you at work and your wife at home and she was right, she good and you good, y'all both getting took. You don't have to go and get her. You're both gonna be took. Now, if she's wrong and she's wicked, then she gonna be destroyed. It ain't gonna be no, you know? So you just gotta work on your own salvation with fear and trembling. Rule over your household correctly and properly. Teach them the right ways. It's up to them to abide and listen. If she's on some bullshit, Yahawah gonna take her out the way even before then or then. You know, so whatever is meant for you is gonna be for you. Don't be out here trying to hold on to attachments and stuff like that. That's not profitable to you, man. This is, you gotta let go of everything. What they say, that movie Gone in 60 Seconds. You gotta be ready to pack up and leave in 60 seconds. Alright? No attachments, man. You gotta be ready to pack up and leave in the twinkling of an eye. Okay? 1 Corinthians 15, 50 through 54. You gotta be ready to go. Because when that time is, it's that time. And we know because we can see that thief in the night. He's coming. That's Yahawashi. And we understand what's coming on. And we are watching. We're watchmen. Verse 13. Nevertheless, we, according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelling righteousness. Okay? How you doing? Oh, I'm fine. No, I don't. I'm fine.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I don't eat.
Your sister.
I don't eat fast food, but thank you though. But thank you so much. For real. Yeah. It's toxic for you.
Yeah, I know. But
especially Jack in the Box.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I give you this. Maybe.
No.
Yeah, this, you can give it to somebody. Yeah, somebody need it.
Okay.
I give you this.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Thank you, sister.
Yeah, that's good. You pray on the street.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody need it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
God bless you. Hey, man, Yahawah Sham Yahawashi Barak, man. Her, man. You know? Northern Kingdom sister gave me like some money, you know, and we ain't here for that, you know. But hey, they donate. It's in their heart. That's it is what it is. Don't block their blessing. Take it, you know, because Yahawah put the spirit in her to come and you know what I'm saying. But that's beautiful. She tried to give me some Jack in the Box. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I already know Jack in the Box. But that's good, man, you know. And you see a lot of Jake waking up, you know, and they know this is it. This is the right thing. Because a lot of Jake, it's a thing out there called church hurt, where the church done hurt them, and they tired of the church, and they leave, and they seeking all these other paths. And Yahawah Sham Yahawashi is gonna bring his people where they need to be. He's gonna, if you're supposed to be here once again, he's gonna bring you here. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna bring you to the men of Yahawah Sham Yahawashi. Alright, and more importantly, the men of Great Millstone, okay? Because it's a lot of BS out here, all right? You know what I'm saying? And the men of Great Millstone are the true men of Yahawah and Yahawashi, teaching like-minded doctrine, coming correctly and coming properly, right? But hey, getting back to it, I don't even remember where I was at. Oh, I was in that 2 Peter. 2 Peter 3 and 13. Nevertheless, we according to his promise look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. Come on, let's get Revelations. Revelations 21. Yeah. A second. And it reads, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. Now, we can see how Peter, he's writing through the Spirit. Everything is inspired by the Most High. So the Spirit moves him to write that. It ain't just men sitting back and writing. You got men writing books every single day. You got authors that's writing books every single day. Is the Most High making that shit go? No. He orchestrated, he organized these 80 books, all right, which is in the KJV 1611, okay? Get that, make sure you understand that. The KJV 1611, man, with the Apocrypha included, which is books that were took out, that was supposed to be in there. They took those books out around the 1800s, and they gave you the Protestant Bible, and they also gave you the name of Jesus. Okay, in the 1611, it's Jesus, which that's in the Greek, and that goes back to Yahawashi. All right, Jesus, shit don't go back nothing. All right, it go back to earth, pig, earth, dung. All right, basically filthy, earth, dirt. Right, so it's an insult. You know, so you can't be calling on the king with. Because G's and sus, G's means earth, sus basically means filthy or dirty or pig in that instance. So earth, dirt, all right? So you can't, you're insulting the son. That's not his name. There's no J in the time frame where he dwelled. There's no J in the Hebrew language at all. If you find out you're a Hebrew Israelite, why you still calling on Jesus? That made no sense. Why you still calling on Christ? That made no sense. And that right there is evidence that somebody took the bag. Alright, so going back into it. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. That new heaven representing a rulership, a kingdom. You have different types of heavens. You got the heaven, which is the sky. Alright, you know, you look up. Alright, that's basically a heaven. And then you have the heaven, which the spiritual realm, where the Most High dwells and Yahawashi is. And then you have this heaven, which is a kingdom, a rulership. So this is a form of heaven. That's why in Isaiah 14 chapter, it lets you know Lucifer fell from heaven. Alright? So he fell from heaven, not meaning no angel got kicked out of heaven. No, ain't no rebellion going up in the Most High's heaven, man. You understand that? That right there is an insult. Those little false angels, the fallen angels, all that shit is insults to the Most High. You saying that he can't control what he built. You saying that they up there debating in heaven. That's showing that your spirit off. You're not using your mind. Lucifer is who? The banking families, the so-called elite, the enlightened ones. That's why they worship the owl, because the owl can see in the dark. They worship certain creatures that see in the dark. Right? That's why you should know Drake, OVO, is making an owl symbol. He got an owl chain. He's pushing Lucifer. He's pushing devil worship. Alright? He sees in the dark. You know, Rockefeller, Jay-Z, these same individuals. Alright? I'm surprised you ain't got no rapper out there talking about Rothschild Records. Rothschild Records. You probably do got a Rothschild Records out there somewhere. You know? But they idolize these YT men. They idolize the rulers of this earth, the wicked who rule right now. Okay? So we need a new heaven. We need a new kingdom, a new rulership. That's what we need. This right here gotta go. It got what's his name? Dang, Baby Kids. I can't remember his name. He used to say, gotta go, gotta go. All right, Robin Harris. Robin Harris, man. He was really funny. He died though. He was really funny though. But yeah, they gotta go, man. You know, Esau gotta go. So we need a new heaven and a new earth, a new society, a new rulership, the proper way of things being done. Because the earth is gonna abide forever. Nukes, 200 million nukes, it's gonna shake the earth, but it's not gonna destroy the earth. The earth is not made to be destroyed. Go to Ecclesiastes 1 and 4, and it lets you know that. I ain't gonna get it, but it lets you know that right there. That generation, you know, matter of fact, let's get it, because I'm about to butcher it. Generation after generation, but the earth abides forever. Like, give me some time, man. It's windy out here. This is Ecclesiastes 1 and 4. One generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever. So the earth is going to be here forever. Alright? It was set up to be here forever. It's good. It's not a bad thing. Everything the Most High set up is a good thing. Even the wicked, He set them up to oppress you, to put you through that furnace of affliction, all right? To humble you, to bring you low, to show you this is what the earth looks like ruled in a wicked capacity. Okay, when wicked individuals are ruling, you got all these different type of agendas and type of religions and type of things going. It's only one truth, man. It's only one faith. That's Ephesians, the 4th chapter. All right, but the devil tells you it's all these different denominations. Okay, you got Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism. You got all this type of stuff that's being allowed to flow on the earth. And that's not the correct way of things being done, man. Moism, homosexuality, all this type of stuff being pushed upon the earth. Pushed to your kids, may I add. Right? So this is what the earth looks like ruled in a wicked rulership. Now who rules the earth? Who has the military all over the earth? 850 bases. So-called YT man. He rules the earth. Who tells you that you gotta pay for water? You gotta pay for electricity. Right? The YT man. He going forth like he came in. Native Americans didn't have to pay for no water, bro. All they had to do was go to the streams and drink. Okay? That's all that was happening. There wasn't no charging for water, electricity, or nothing like that. Gad was living cool. They was chilling. And I guarantee you, the Moors was living like that as well. They wasn't having nobody pay for electricity and water and none of that. These are things that are necessities, essential. These are vital to life. Why would you make somebody pay for this? Shelter, all of that should be free. Going back, what is it, Libya, okay? You go to college, you get paid to go to college. College is free, but you get paid. And then you get out, you get an apartment, you get married, you get more money. You get paid to reproduce every child that you have. You get paid. Now, Obama and your mama them had to come through and destroy that. Because furthermore, behind that scenes, you had what? A gold standard being created in all those Hamitic nations. Not only was he actually caring about his citizens, was he trying to unite all of Africa. And that would have what? It would have crushed the dollar. And guess what? The dollar's being crushed regardless. Alright? The Most High always had in his will to destroy you niggas, man. Your petrodollar is done. But just using those examples to show you an example of a righteous country, in a sense. because you actually got paid to go to college, you got paid to get married, you got paid when you had a kid, so it benefited you to reproduce. They wanted their population to boom, not to destroy it. So, majority of the earth, it ain't no free health care. It ain't none of that, man. Insurance is a scam. Okay? That's why doctors continually treat you and never cure you. They want you to go back to the doctor to rack up them bills, and so they can get paid. I was talking to my rib about C-sections. They get paid every time they do a C-section. I believe like $10,000, $20,000. And that what? That tears up your body. It produces scar tissue. So it damages the female, and it creates problems and illnesses for her. That's gonna lead her back to the hospital. So a wicked doctor is gonna bring you back. When, if you just do it the way the Most High originated it, you just had a baby going through the tunnel, man, going through the canal, the right way, it's straight. You can have as many kids as you want, you know? And in the kingdom, women will have unlimited number of kids. Just ongoing. All right? Let me see where I was at, man. Oh, I was gonna go Ezekiel 3rd chapter. I'm gonna get a little bit from the board, some more. See what the brother said. Imagine a kingdom where we no longer are subject to our adversaries, and where we are fully embraced and supported directly by Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, and that's what salvation is. Okay? That's why we need that new heaven and that new earth. What we were talking about in Revelation 21. You know what I'm saying? Luke 1:67. Let's get that. Once again, no fear of our enemy. Shoot, no enemy. Now we gonna have an enemy. Hey, Esau still be our enemy, but he can't do shit. As it says in 2nd Esdras, you know, the heathen shall envy us, but they won't be able to touch us. Loosely quoting, I know I butchered that. Right? Dang, I just forgot what I was about to get, man. Oh man, these bodies, yo. Oh, these bodies, bro. I get that Isaiah 34:16. I was gonna go get Ezekiel, but I was gonna go get something else. I just can't remember. Isaiah 34:16. Seek ye out of the book of Yahawah and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it have commanded, and his spirit it have gathered him. If you in that mindset of, I don't know if the Bible's real, the white man wrote the Bible, and no, I just explained to you, how the devil, we taking him over. Because it's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. I explained what a heaven is, a kingdom. So if it's going to be a new heaven and a new earth, it's going to be a new kingdom and a new society, a new way of living coming. So this old one got to be took away. All right? I said Esau is still going to be our enemy, but he's not going to be able to mess with us. He's not going to be, he's going to be in a pit. He's going to be done as a servant for 1,000 years, and then he will be destroyed. Oh, the water Yahawah Sham Yahawashi. I was going to get Luke 1:67. You know? So, he's going to be, we're not going to fear him no more. Right now, you have a fear. It don't matter if you own your house or you renting it. You fear you not paying that bill and Esau taking that house away, putting you out on the streets. You have a fear of that. You fear if you don't, and not saying we afraid of them, because we haven't been given a spirit of fear, but we know that Romans 13, you have these powers that rule over us, and they're established and set up by the Most High Yahawah, right? So we have a sense that, hey, I gotta pay these bills. I gotta go to work so I can pay these bills. All right, I gotta get through somehow. So that right there, you've never imagined, you never felt that since King Solomon and King David. You ain't felt that since then. And if you don't believe the scriptures, as we was just reading, Isaiah 34:16, then you're not going to have faith to even believe that we used to live like that, where we didn't fear these heathens, where it was peace, where you had multiple wives, concubines, forms. Every brother, every man in Israel, even during King Solomon's time, you would have had your own, you had acres of land. Not just 1 acre or 2 acres, no. You would have had acres of land, man. Shit, your slave might have had like half an acre his damn self. Your servant. You know, you would have set him up. Alright, let's say you got a cool little servant that's cool. He do everything for you, whatever. He your favorite servant. You might have gave him his own little spot. But you would have had at least 20, 30 acres. At least. So how much more in the kingdom? You understand? So we used to have a time period where we were free. We were ruling. We wasn't fearing the heathens. We were lending and we were not borrowing. Right now, you got to go to the bank to get a house loan. You got to get a car loan. You got a loan, whatever type of loan. You got to go to the YT man. And if your credit ain't checking, then you ain't getting it. So you got to go to him to borrow. Back then, we used to lend. He had to come to us. Can I get, I don't know. Maybe you can get this. Maybe you can't. You understand? A position of power. As Elder Apostle Gabar said, a royal mindset, man. A ruling class mentality. But most Jake, you don't have faith and you don't believe in the scriptures, so you can't even fathom that we was in that. And that is coming back. This is Luke 1. And 67. Damn, man, this page stuck. Alright, I got it. Luke 1 and 67. I started 67. And his father Zechariah was filled with the Holy Spirit and prophesied, saying, Blessed be Yahawah power of Israel, the God of who? Of Israel. Okay? That nobody else. He's the God of the Israelites. For he hath visited and redeemed his people. His people. So who does salvation pertain to? Israel. The Israelites. Not geographically Israel. No. Wherever we go, we are Israel. We are a people before a place. Second Maccabees 5 and 19. Okay? We are a people before a place. So before we was ever called Israelites, we were called what? The sons of God. Okay? That's what we go back to being. Sons of God. That's who we are. Okay? Now y'all good. Alright, verse 68. Blessed be Yahawah power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people. The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's the God's chosen people. That's his people. He's redeeming us. He's saving us. He's bringing us back to him. 69. And he hath raised up an horn. That horn being who? Yahawashi. Alright? A horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David. So, Yahawashi has the preeminence. He's the horn. A horn on a rhinoceros, that's the first thing you're gonna feel when that rhinoceros charges at you. The horn or the tusk on an elephant, that's how an elephant fight. The horns or the antlers on a buck, a deer, they coming with that. So Yahawashi is the first that you feel, right? He gonna come back in them chariots and be the first so-called black man that a lot of these motherfuckers fear. I mean, fear, because they can't do shit about him. You got Jake rising up, whatever. You get your Martin Luther Kings, he a Mo, and he bought your Malcolm X's, your Marcus Garveys, your Huey P. Newtons, okay? You get these individuals, your Fred Hamptons, you know what I'm saying? And some may be real, some, but they wasn't in the truth. We understand that. But the point is they rise up and they get knocked down. They rise up and they get knocked down. The YT man like, it's just another nigga. It's just another nigga that I gotta kill. That's how they feel. Alright? And that's what they did. Every single one. They took out. Nipsey Hussle. Took him out. Right? You know what I'm saying? All these individuals that our people would so-called put their faith in. And you're supposed to put your faith in Yahawashi, man. Alright? Not a man. He's not gonna meet you as a man. Alright? Isaiah 47:3. He's coming in that angelic body. So, he's the first. He's that horn. He's going to make them feel it. He's the first to make them feel it. And then he's going to bring his brothers up with him and send his brothers back down to make their ass feel it. Right? So we get to bask, as it says, being joint heirs with Yahawashi. He's going to give us a piece of this rulership. You know, as a real brother. In general, if you truly love your people, you can't leave until all of them good, man. You know, you just, hey, yeah, we made it out, let's go. But you got like 20, 30, 40 more brothers back there in chains. Yeah, fuck them. Nah, we gotta go get them. They're my guys. They're my boys. All right. So when you get this truth, what should you do? You should tell. You should let others know that you care about or whatever. All right, and if they reject it, okay, they reject it, cool. That's fine. Reject it, right? But you're going to find out at the end that the prophecy stands above all and that this is the truth. Consider that. So, verse 60, verse 70. As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, his elect, his prophets, those men, that 144,000, Yahawashi created those 144,000, and then they all created the earth together, with Yahawashi being at the top. You know? So, man, it's those prophets, man, and those are all men. It didn't say prophetess. That's a woman that sings. That's all that is. You know what I'm saying? Deborah, she had a song. Miriam had a song. You know, they got songs. They're the Most High ain't dealing with them in that capacity. Okay? Now he can use a woman like he used Esther to bring Mordecai into a position. You understand? He'll use a woman to bring a man into a position. But he ultimately dealing with these men, right? At the end of the day, he ain't dealing with you women like that. And that don't let that be, if you letting that be an insult to you, then you're not in the right spirit. You don't really understand what's going on. He said he ain't dealing with us. Get your crybaby ass up out of here, man. Okay? What you need to do, how you should have did your whole life, is hold on and cleave on to a man and allow that man to provide and take care of you. But if you was knacking, you trying to fight the man, you don't want to allow him to leave and doing all of this, you meant to be destroyed, man. What Snoop say? She can't swim, she busy on the drizzle. You know, she bound to drown. So that's what it is. Because you can't get with the raft. You can't get back on the boat. So you gonna drown. Alright? Verse 71. I've been on the West Coast too long. I'm quoting Snoop. I've been out here too long. Verse 71. That we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. And that's true salvation. Being saved from your enemies and all those that hate us. Your fellow Israelite is not an enemy, but he may hate you. Shit. Yeah. Pull it over here, man. I had cat-like reflexes out here. But, so your fellow Israelite, that's your neighbor. Okay? That's your neighbor. supposed to love thy neighbor. Forgive thy neighbor. All right? Regardless if he don't forgive you or not. It don't matter. That doesn't matter. Okay? This is the baggage that you got to carry. This is what you got to carry, okay? So if they want to keep carrying grudges and hate and all of that, let that darken their soul. Let that bitterness taint their waters. Don't let that taint your waters. You walk as a man and you leave all that behind. You listen to Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi. Those that trespass, you forgive them. So the Most High will forgive you. And you continue to go. You continue to move. You know? If they don't get it, they're not meant to get it. Alright? A little bit more. What my time is. Alright, we're going to wrap it up probably about 10. Verse 73. The oath which he swore to our father Abraham. Salakia. Verse 72. To perform the mercy promised to our fathers and to remember his covenant. The oath which he swore to our father Abraham. That he would grant unto us that we being delivered out of the hand of our enemies might serve him without fear. Okay? So being delivered out of the hand of our enemies. Once again, a 2/3, an Israelite, and don't care about this. He's your fellow Israelite. He is your neighbor. Alright? You're supposed to love your enemies. That would be in the sense of you love your fellow Israelites. Once again, you forgive them. If they don't forgive you, it does not matter. You forgive them and you keep it moving. That don't mean you got to kick it with them or nothing like that. No. Hey, if you a wise man, you would keep your distance from those that, you know, are non-believers, as it says in 2 Corinthians 6:14, I believe. You know what I'm saying? Had no fellowship with the unbelievers. Right? So you would keep your distance, you know? But hey, you see an individual, let's say IUIC or something. Hey, they say shalom, shalom. You know, shalom. It is what it is. I ain't gonna, oh, fuck you, you IUIC. Nah, bro. It's shalom. You know? Because that's an Israelite. Alright? At the end of the day. You see, you know what I'm saying? You gotta have that mindset. And you don't know how the Most High is working. Look at, I was just reading 2 Samuel. It's like 21. Was his name Shamael? Okay, and he was scoffing at David. He was scoffing at King David, and you know he was tripping, throwing rocks and shit. But then a couple chapters later, he was cool. He was like, "My bad, I'm sorry, yo." So you don't know how the Most High is working with these individuals, man. He could be a scoffer on Monday and a brother on Friday. He snapped back into reality. He got the truth. He understands now. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta consider. Now after 2 admonitions, yeah. But the Most High bring him back, and he's in a righteous mindset. Then hey, we clapping, because all the heavens are rejoicing. The heaven is rejoicing. All the angels are rejoicing. I meant to say. You know. So we want our brothers and sisters to make it. We want our brothers and sisters to be in a right mind, man. You don't want your family members to die and all of that. You don't want them to, you know, fall over this wicked ass Jesus Christ that they've been knowing all their life and they can't leave it alone. Alright? You want them to come into this truth so they can see. And regardless, they're going to see in general. If they got to go through the second death and feel that fire, or if they make it and they end up in that chariot, which Yahawashi, we make it. You know? So it's mercy. It's something that we gotta have. Right? I'm gonna hit the comment board and then I'm gonna wrap it up. Hey, shalom to the brother Yasha'Allah Malak. Good to see you out. This is Revelations 1:7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so Amen. So that right there is letting you know reincarnation, regeneration. Regeneration. I'm talking too fast. Reincarnation, regeneration, right? I was letting you know that is true, because all those that pierced him shall see him, right? Those, the one that stuck the spear in him and water and blood came out, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna see Yahawashi again in that chariot. You know, the one that Peter cut his ear off. You know, he'll see Yahawashi. Those individuals are that. Now, that one most definitely was an Israelite because he believed at that moment. You know what I'm saying? So, and I believe also the one that stuck the spirit. So that's letting you know just how this dude name, man, or Cornelius, or it's letting you know Israelites were Roman soldiers. Okay, they were centurions. It's the same thing as being a cop or being in the military. Look at Rome today. All right, you had a lot of brothers that was in the military that did time, that served. All right, etc., etc. We in Rome, we served in the Roman military, and we got out. Right. So it's the same thing back then. You had all different type of nations serving in the Roman military. Rome was famous for hiring mercenaries and barbarians and letting them fight the wars for them. All right, so you don't think that they would bring other nations into their military? No, they bringing everybody, right? So it's a beautiful thing that reincarnation, regeneration is that's it, man. Because that lets you know you trapped. Ain't no way out of this. Ain't no dying and you go to heaven and you be there forever. Yeah, that ain't real. You got to come back. You got to serve out your sentence. Let's get that in Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. Starting at verse 12. Now I start at verse 11. He have made everything beautiful in his time. What did we just say about the earth? Everything was created good. Everything was created for a purpose. Even the wicked. Everything was created, right, for a purpose. Yahawashi has a reason that he's putting you through so much hell. He got a reason. Okay, it's a test. It's a challenge. He's gonna bring you through. He just got to see how you endure it. He got to refine you and see how you get them impurities up out of you. Gold is refined countless times. It can be refined. You look up. This is one example of gold being refined 60,000 times. You know, so you can find gold however much you want. Silver as well. To get the metals up out of it. The metals is the impurities. It's the flaws. Because you just want it to be gold. You don't want no metal in it. Right? That's what we need. We got to be purified down to liquefied. Okay? And I'm talking about spiritually. Because we don't want to hit the second death and be liquefied for real. Right? So, we're refined and we're getting all those impurities up out of us to be made whole. And that happens every single regeneration. You're going through hell. You're going through these situations. You don't, you know, it ain't no, hey, the Most High, they say work in mysterious ways. Yes, he do. He'll do this and do that. Throw you over here, throw you over there. This is why you got to have the mindset, as it says in the scriptures, you entertain angels unawares. So, treat everything the proper way and the correct way. Don't be no asshole, man. All right? Hold that integrity. Hold those morals. Hold that character. Keep that. Be solid. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. You know, that's what we was taught as a kid. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Etc. Etc. Hold the door open. All them little manners. You know. All right. Deal with somebody until they give you a reason not to deal with them. You know what I'm saying? So you don't judge books off covers. As the scripture says, judge righteous appearance. Verse 12. Slaki, verse 11 again. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Also, he hath set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that power maketh from the beginning to the end. You can't figure it out. Now, an unction has been given to us to know all things. So he's revealing it to us in due time. He's letting us know, but nobody knows the day. Nobody knows, you know? He's letting us know in time. And it's beautiful how it goes, because it's a sense of leveling up. You ever played a video game, or even when somebody spoils a movie? Alright, the brother Kawam on here? Nah, that brother Kawam, he was infamous for spoiling movies. Alright, you know? So it's like you're not gonna get the spoiler. You're not gonna get the end right there. Now we got the prophecies and we know how it's gonna take place. So we got the clues. We got, what's that? The trailer. We got the trailer. We saw this happening, boom, boom. That's the prophecies. But we don't know the exact date, the exact time, right? And we don't know who is who. So you ain't got no spoilers. You don't know if you are right. Oh yeah, you don't know. So you gotta make your calling to the election sure. As the scriptures say, put on as the elect. But you don't know if you are the elect. Right? And that right there, I wouldn't rather it be no other type of way, man. It's just pray and fast. It's a beautiful thing, man. The Most High is the way that He works is nobody could do it better. And you gotta love it. I love the way He works. You begin to love Yahawah Shem Yahawashi even more when you get revealed these type of ways and you see and you look at everything that He's doing. 12. I know that there is no good in them, but for a man to rejoice and to do good in his life. And also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor is in the gift of power. I know that whatsoever power doeth, it shall be forever. That means animals. Look at all the animals that were driven extinct by Esau. Those animals are going to be back. The Barbary lion is going to be back. The biggest lion that exists. Oh, actually, no, you got the American cave lion. That lion is going to be back. That's a massive lion. Okay? Bigger than the tiger. The saber-toothed tiger is coming back. Mammoths is coming back. Right? So, and mammoths existed during the time of Egypt. During the time when they built the pyramids, mammoths existed. And the pyramids were built after the flood. Don't let nobody tell you they was built before the flood. Okay? You know, we understand those type of things. So, all these extinct animals that's been driven to extinction, they're going to be allowed to flourish and come back again. Dinosaurs, things of that nature. Leviathan is a dinosaur indeed. A crocodile, an alligator, those are type of dinosaurs, man. And a smaller extent, you know. But these things are going to be brought back, and they're going to be in righteousness, because wickedness is not going to dwell and hit this place anymore like this. So everything the Most High created was for good. I know that whatsoever power doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it, and power doeth it, that men should fear before Him. Look at the ICBM missiles coming down and hitting. Everybody's gonna look at Babylon, you know, those that remain, and they're gonna know that Yahawah Shem Yahawashi did this, and that's gonna be a fear to them. We're gonna be terrified looking at it. All right, Yahawah, we be in the chariots. We're gonna be looking down like, damn. So it's all different type of emotions, man. We fear Yahawah Shem Yahawashi. How much more being in His presence? You understand? Being right there, He's right there. It's crazy. 15. That which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and Yahawah requireth that which is past. What you did in your past life, you're required to serve it out. You're required to live out that sentence for all the deeds that you did and certain things that you did now. So justice, that's ultimate justice, which Yahawah Shem Yahawashi is. You got to go through it all. Nothing is getting missed. So the best thing for you to do is to repent and convert so that your sins may be blotted out. Because ain't nobody saying the elect didn't commit no sins. Yeah, the elect committed sins. Every generation, they committed sins. Okay? But their sins will be blotted out because they were able to figure it out at the end. They were able to, Yahawah put the spirit in them to turn and get right so that they'll be okay and they'll be exempt. Ezekiel 9:4, that the law, that one was given to them. You know? And that's what you want. That's the best that you can get. A little bit more. 16. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. Alright? This is the place of judgment. This is where you go to serve out your sentence. I said in my heart, power shall judge the righteous and the wicked. Everybody's being judged. For there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. And what is that ultimate time? Jacob's trouble and the day of Yahawah is coming. Okay? And that is when the mass judgment shall be. The first death and the second death, they're called first death and second death. We talking about regeneration, reincarnation. It's plenty of times we done died, but those aren't called the first death and the second death. Okay? It's because these are the most significant points of death where people die. The massive points of death. Just how you have the first woe, the second woe, and the third woe. World War I, II, and III. Where you got worldwide catastrophes, worldwide death. Talking about in the millions. WW3 gonna be in the billions, right? So these are key points, significant points of death. So you want to be exempt from that time frame. But this place has an appointed time for that time. That's what it's saying. There was a time for every purpose and for every work. So it's also a time here for wickedness. This is that time. Going back to, we need a new heaven and a new earth. The time of wickedness is at its end. And the time of righteousness is about to begin. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Right? So I'm gonna end it right there. I'm gonna get these two precepts. 1 John 4:19 from the brother Sasad. We love him because he first loved us. And it's no greater love to lay down your life for your brother. Yahawashi did that for us. So why wouldn't you do the same for him? You know? That's just common sense right there. Alright? He did it for you, do it for him. You know? Proverbs 4:18. But the path of the just is as the strong light that shineth more and more until the perfect day. Kind of precepting that with Daniel. What's that? Daniel 12:3. I gotta go get it. You know? Because the righteous are gonna shine more and more. These Christians ain't got this, bro. You know they ain't got it. And they know they ain't got it. You can look at it. You know, an hour and 40 minutes. Damn near. We brought out more precepts than a Christian pastor would bring out a whole year of him being in church. It's more precepts on the comment board. Okay? Look at all the precepts, man. Then a Christian pastor would bring out a whole year with his congregation of 2,000, 4,000 people. You know? You learning more from one lesson. These niggas ain't got it, man. Daniel 12. And I just hit the point. 3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. What did we say in the beginning? All glory, honor, praises to Yahawah B'Hashem, Yahawashi B'Hashem Kakadash. All of that goes to him. He raises us up to shine, to glorify him. Right? So all the glory goes back to him. You know, that's why we always say, and somebody say, great lesson, hey, Halalyam la Yahawah B'Hashem Yahawashi. Okay? Halalyam la Yahawah B'Hashem Yahawashi. That's it. It's never us. It's always him. We don't seek what we seeking for. Ain't nothing here that we gonna hold on to. Nothing. your car, your woman, your house, whatever. All that's done. If your woman lucky, she going with you. Right? If she's unlucky, you know what I'm saying? So we don't have going back to having no attachments. Okay? Everything is temporary. Except the brotherhood. Alright? Except this truth. That's the two major keys, man. You know? This knowledge, this wisdom, this understanding, this endures forever. Alright? Alright, hey, yep, let me get up out of here, man. Hey, the water for you brothers, man, all the precepts that y'all put, all the support, you know, everything, man. Always, always, always. The water for coming out. Facing the east already, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Barak Sham, Yahawashi, Barak Sham, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of the great millstone as always. Shalom to God's hopeful elect. As always, Kwam Yasha Allah and a Bible ball. Alright? Shalom, shalom. Keep the faith.